Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we've got a really specific mission, one that's built just for you. You've given us this amazing source material, a detailed conversation between two people laying out their entire daily routines.
Right. We've got a teacher and someone who runs a shop.
Exactly. And it's a gold mine. It traces their whole day, from the moment the alarm goes off right until they set it again for the next day.
That's right. And our goal here isn't just to, list what they do. Anyone can read that. Our mission is to really pull apart the conversation, to find the building blocks.
The linguistic extraction.
Yes. We want to find the vocabulary, the scaffolding, really, that lets you describe any daily schedule with confidence. Think of it like getting the instruction manual for the language of routine.
And right away, the sources give us this perfect contrast to work with. The teacher's in this high-energy, very interactive environment. The shop worker, much quieter, more sophistical.
And we find out immediately why they might be feeling differently. One person mentions being tired from a long weekend walk and cleaning their apartment.
So their weekend was all about chores and activity.
While the other just, relaxed and watched a movie.
Yeah.
And that difference between an active weekend and a passive one is so important. It shows how your time off really sets the tone for Monday morning.
Okay, let's unpack this. Starting with those morning rituals, because how you start the day, well, it pretty much defines the rest of it.
It really does.
So the wake-up time, that's pretty predictable. Both of them usually wake up at 7 o'clock. But here's where it gets interesting.
They don't just jump out of bed.
No. They both have what they actually call a bad habit. They stay in bed for about 10 minutes, checking the news or social media on their phone.
And that 10-minute buffer, it's almost a required ritual for everyone now. I'd say it's less of a bad habit and more of a mental ramp-up period. But what happens after those 10 minutes, that's what reveals everything.
I saw that. The shop worker, they immediately focus on organization. They make their bed right away, saying it makes the room look nice.
Very organized, they said.
Yeah, and that's a classic keystone habit, isn't it? It's that small, immediate win that kind of sets you on a good path for the day.
It is, but the teacher, totally different. Ignores the bed, goes straight to the bathroom. They're all about just, getting ready as fast as possible.
And that rush brings us to another fascinating little difference. They both do the basics, of course. Brushing teeth, washing their face.
But how they do it.
Right. One of them uses cold water on their face. They claim it's like a necessary shock to the system, that it's the only thing that really wakes them up.
Which is a huge distinction.
Yeah.
Because the shop worker, who has a quieter morning, they go for a hot shower. It's a gentler, warmer start. So the path they choose really reflects the kind of energy they need for the day. One needs a jolt, the other needs a calm transition.
So once they're clean, they get dressed. No strict uniform for either of them, but what they have to wear is very different. Both value comfort. They both wear jeans.
But it's what goes with the jeans that's the key. The shop worker can just throw on a t-shirt, maybe a nice shirt. It's simple.
But the teacher, they're in front of students. They need to look professional.
Exactly. So they'll choose a blouse or a nice sweater. Their job basically dictates their clothing choices.
Okay, let's talk breakfast, the energy strategy. The shop worker is all about speed. A big cup of coffee, that's their caffeine hit, and 2 pieces of toast. Simple, fast.
And they use that word usually. That's a key bit of language. It signals that this is their normal routine, but it's not, 100% of the time. It allows for flexibility.
True. But the teacher, they need sustained energy. Their meal is heartier yogurt with fruit, scrambled eggs, and, this is a big one, they always drink green tea, no coffee.
Which is such a critical insight. Their drink isn't just about taste, it's about choosing an energy curve. Coffee gives you that sharp spike. Green tea is a calmer, more sustained release. Perfect for teaching classes all morning.
But despite all those differences, they share one habit.
Oh, this one is great.
They both wash their cup and plate immediately. They just hate leaving dirty dishes in the sink. It's about clearing the decks before they leave the house.
That shared value is really telling. Okay, so now they're leaving the house. This transition from home to work, the commute, it has a huge impact on your mindset.
It really does. The shop worker takes the bus. It's not a bad trip, though. A 2-minute walk, a 20-minute ride listening to music.
It's manageable.
Yeah.
But the teacher, they actually say they're lucky. They walk just 10 minutes to work.
They get to skip all that bus and car stress.
That little walk probably saves them so much stress every single morning. But when they get to work at 9, their workflows are just completely different.
The shop worker has this quiet, predictable routine. Unlock the door, turn on the lights, the computer, the cash register. The morning is peaceful. They can even read a book.
It's a calm, organized start. The teacher's morning is the exact opposite. It's immediate stress. They put their bag down, and the first thing they have to do is check many emails.
Ugh, the email load.
It's this huge administrative weight on them before they even start teaching their 3 morning classes. It sets a reactive tone for the whole day.
That's a perfect example of how the job structure controls your mental state. And speaking of structure, they only get one short break, 15 minutes at 11:30.
And they use it to drink more tea and talk with their colleagues. Now, that word, colleagues, that's a crucial piece of vocabulary for you to have.
Why is that word so important?
Because it's a professional term. It specifically means the people you work with. It's different from friends or family. It signals that formal relationship.
Right, so the teacher has lots of colleagues.
All the other teachers.
Yeah.
But the shop worker, it's a small business, so they only have 2. Understanding that word helps you correctly frame your professional life.
That's a great takeaway. And I noticed how often they use the verb take. They take the bus, they take a break. It's a busy word.
A very busy, fixed phrase word. We'll come back to that.
Moving on to midday then. Lunch is always at 1 o'clock, but what they eat shows completely different priorities. It's budget versus convenience.
The shop workers is definitely focused on budget. They often bring food from home, a sandwich, leftovers. They only buy lunch, maybe once a week.
Whereas the teacher, they're all about convenience. They just eat in the cheap school cafeteria, a salad or some pasta.
But no matter what they eat, they both share that classic post-lunch feeling.
Oh yeah, being a little sleepy.
This is where their jobs clash with their biology again. The shop worker is too busy in the afternoon to feel sleepy. But the teacher, they have to fight through that feeling for 2 more classes.
The job just forces them to push through it. So their workdays end around the same time, 5 o'clock for the teacher, 6 for the shop worker. And the shop worker has this very specific closing ritual.
Right. Cleaning the floor, turning everything off, locking the door. The key verb there is finish. It's the action that formally completes the workday.
But the first thing they both do when they get home is identical. They get changed.
And they both describe it as the best feeling. It's so symbolic.
They take off their work clothes, even the jeans, and put on comfortable pants and a soft t-shirt. It's like shedding the professional self.
It's a mental switch. Absolutely. It's a way of saying, okay, work is finished, and now relax time begins. The actual change of clothes helps them transition.
Dinner is next, around 7:30 or 8. Their cooking styles are different too. One likes simple, quick things like pasta. The other actually enjoys cooking as a way to relax.
Yeah, making soup or fish, but they both order out once a week.
And that cleaning habit comes back. Both of them wash the dishes right after eating. They just can't relax if the kitchen is messy.
That need for an organized space before they can truly rest is it's a really key insight.
And finally, their relaxation routines. This is our biggest contrast. One is a passive reflector. They watch nature documentaries, read for a book club, call family.
They need that quiet decompression time. The other one, though, they need active social stimulation. They watch funny comedies or play video games online with friends.
Right. The gaming helps them relax by, shifting their focus and giving them that social connection.
We also saw a difference in exercise. The reader, they only go for a walk sometimes. But the gamer has it structured. They go to the gym 2 times a week.
Tuesday and Thursday.
Exactly. Which shows you how important it is to schedule something like that. Or you might just skip it. They don't just exercise. They specifically take time for the gym.
Okay, here's where it gets really interesting. We've seen the routines, the contrasts. Now let's pull out the actual language tools you need to talk about your own day. We've found 7 essential words and ideas that really glue a routine together.
This is the scaffolding. If you get these 7 tools, you can talk about this topic, no problem.
Okay, tool 1. Usually. We heard this a lot in the morning section.
Right. Usually is your go-to frequency word. It means something is normal for you, maybe 80 or 90% of the time, but it's not rigid. You need this to sound natural instead of saying, I always do this.
So I usually wake up at 7, or I usually get takeout on Fridays.
Exactly. Next, tool 2. After that. This is your sequencing tool.
The connector word.
Yes, it means next. It connects your actions so you're telling a story, not just reading a list. Without it, it sounds choppy. I wake up, I brush my teeth, I eat breakfast.
It's much better to say, I wake up, and after that, I brush my teeth. It creates flow.
Perfect. Tool 3 is colleagues. We touched on this. It's a professional status word. When you talk about people at your job, use colleagues.
Not work friends.
Not unless you're actually friends outside of work. It's a subtle but important distinction. I have lunch with my colleagues.
Got it. Okay, tools 4 and 5 are a pair. Get dressed and get changed.
A very common point of confusion. Get dressed is for the morning, when you put on your clothes for the day. Get changed is for when you come home and put on something comfortable or your gym clothes.
You get dressed to go out and you get changed when you come home to relax.
Precisely. Now, tool 6 is take, that super busy verb we mentioned.
It's everywhere.
Because it's used in all these fixed phrases you just have to memorize. You take a shower, you take the bus, you take a break, you take time for something. You aren't physically grabbing anything, you're just doing the action.
Okay, that makes sense. And finally, tool 7, another pair. Finish and relax.
The two sides of the evening routine. Finish is the verb for completion. I finish work at 5. Then, relax is the verb for finding that state of calm.
So I relax by watching TV.
Exactly. And once the action is over, you feel the adjective, I feel relaxed.
So to sum it up, we've looked at 2 very different routines and pulled out 7 key language tools. Usually after that, colleagues, get dressed and get changed, take, and the finish relax pair.
These are the building blocks you need for any daily schedule.
And the relevance for you, the listener, is confidence. You have the scaffolding now. You can describe your own day by just plugging your activities into these phrases. I usually wake up at. After that, I get dressed. After work, I like to relax.
And if we look at the bigger picture here, the way we structure our days, coffee or tea, reading or gaming, it doesn't just create an organized life. It reveals our priorities, our need for quiet, our need for social time, our commitment to our health.
The original conversation ended with such a great question. What's the best part of the day? One person loved the quiet morning because it felt full of possibility,
While the other preferred the evening, because they could finally relax with no work, no stress.
which brings us to our final thought for you. We heard how important 8 hours of sleep is to avoid that tiredness they both felt. So, based on the habits we analyzed, making the bed, scheduling gym time, washing the dishes right away, what single, simple habit could you introduce tomorrow to make your own daily routine feel just a bit more peaceful or more organized?
Yeah, think about your own day. What's one small change, using the language we've looked at, that could make the biggest difference? We'll leave you with that to think about.
Until our next deep dive.